A bear to wrong. A bear to wrong. Not the bear to right, but a bear to wrong. So let's get this show on the road. You know, I wanted to tell you, I got a joke for you to start the show. We're going to start the show with a joke. Why
let's
not?
just do that.
So Elmer Fudd and Daffy Duck broke into a distillery one night. And Daffy Duck says, "Is this whiskey?" And Elmer Fudd says, "Well, of course it's whiskey, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank."
I like it. I approve that message. Oh, I have to remember that. I'm going to write that down. Yeah, okay. That's really good, actually.
It's a cute little joke.
It is. It is. Speaking of being informed, I found out that a bee that comes from America is called a USB. So it must do computer stuff too, I guess.
It must be computer stuff. Yeah. Yes, a USB. Absolutely.
And I also wanted
to be a GBB.
A what GBB?
A GBB.
A GBB.
A Great Britain bee. A GBB. A GBB.
That's wonderful. And before we start,
yes,
I want you to know that the steak is done, done, done. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done.
Now you're done. Roll that music. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Well, Moobarkfluff, greetings, hello, salutations, aloha, hola, and hallay. I am Barely Normal, your pod voice that's really nice. Oh, that was dumb. And with me once again to fill your heart with fluff and fun is Taebyn. How the fluff are you, Taebyn?
Well, hi, thank you. Yes, yes, as he just said, my name is Taebyn. I am a pup bark, and thanks for asking. I'm doing good. I've been running around and doing the stuff, and that's how I've been, I guess. So what about you? How are you, Mr. Barely?
I'm pretty good. The week went pretty fast. It's been so many things happening at work and in my personal life and mom and dad and all that stuff. So it's been a whirlwind
of whiskey.
A whirlwind of whiskey. I want to say that we were recording our other podcast and I said, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. And Pup Loki went, overwhelmed? Overwhelmed? Why did you use the H in that word? You don't use the H in that word. I said, sure you do. Just like you say Cool Whip.
Cool Whip? Cool Whip, yeah. You mean Cool Whip? Yeah, Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. You're saying it weird. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H? What are you talking about? I'm just saying it. Cool Whip. You put Cool Whip on pie. Pie tastes better with Cool Whip.
You know.
Cool Whip. That's a trigger, apparently, for Pup.
That's a trigger for Pup Loki, obviously. So, of course, then I had to tease him with it the whole night.
Oh, I bet. Oh,
every word I could think of, you know. I said whiskey and Cool Whip and overwhelmed and all sorts of things like that.
Oh, poor Pup. I found out that the way that the moon cuts his hair is eclipse it. Yes.
Okay. So
no,
you used to say that you didn't search out bad jokes, but I think you do. I think you do search out bad jokes for this podcast now.
Bad. That's all I do. Is just I can't help it. But something that's not a bad joke is just last night or the night before, I forget. I rewatched. You probably remember you made the Taebyn at FC 2019 video.
Yes, I do remember it. Yes, I remember making it. I don't know that I remember it. What I did with it, but yes.
Probably if you were to rewatch it, you'd remember. Anyway, so I happened to rewatch it the other day, and you did such a good job with that. And it was brought back memories, and maybe I had a little teary in my puppy eye, but it was really, really good. You did a really good job with that. So I guess shout out to Barely here.
Shout out to Barely. Hooray.
All you fears.
Fears.
All you fears. Don't fears and go check out this video and this wonderful job that Barely did.
Now, if I could just get somebody to monetize my skills, then I would be a happy little camper. I could just do video, audio editing all day long and not have to worry about anything else. You know,
like real life and stuff. Don't do that.
But then I would probably get tired of doing it because then it's not a hobby anymore.
That's your job.
You know? Yeah, it's your job.
I want to ask you something.
Okay.
And
That's good because the question, an interrogative usually means you want to ask somebody something, but go for it. Yes.
Okay. So what do you call a gopher that hides in a grandfather clock?
What do you call a gopher that hides in a grandfather clock? I don't know. I can't think of that one. What do you
You
call it?
know, I don't know either, and that's why I was asking you to see if you knew, but you don't. So
Oh, I don't know. Gopher time? I don't know. Gopher this, go for that. I don't know. That's like the
maybe
old
I
joke,
don't know.
the nursery rhyme, Hickory Dickory Dock, 3 mice ran up the clock. The clock struck 1 and the other 2 escaped with minor injuries.
Oh my cow!
Yes, I guess.
Indeed.
Indeed. Shall we get to recounting our past today?
Let us recount the past that is now today.
Exactly?
In
Imzadi.
not only indeed, but also exactly.
Exactly. Or Imzadi, which is a Star Trek reference for those of you that know the Next
Oh, is
Generation.
it?
And if you know what Imzadi is, then write in on our BFFT chat and tell me that you knew what that was.
That's true. Yes, please do, because I should know that, but it doesn't come to me. So yes, all you furs, let us know. Let me know, because Barely already knows.
Yes, let us know. Okay, so last week I used the word calcitrant.
You did.
To mean subjugated or underneath things. Well, that's not what it means. That's totally wrong.
Oh, okay.
Calcitrant means stubborn.
Oh,
And that was the opposite of what I meant to mean. And in Indiana Jones, the movie line was the penitent man. The penitent man, not the calcitrant man. Because no, I was sure a dummy bear last week. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. But that was the only thing that I had for last week or the past today. But do you have anything? Have you listened to any of our past pod episodes?
I've been so busy. I still haven't, but I do have.
Really?
I mean, I've got this list. You know, it's in the.
I got a list.
The queue, but I've got a list into that. I wonder if Pup Loki would also go crazy if you said listen. Will you listen to me?
Listen? Will you listen to me? No, I don't say it that. I say listen.
Oh, but
but overwhelmed. Yes, like, he probably won't listen to this. But any other person that might be triggered by that, they might be triggered by that would. You know, who knows? I've fallen back into my Jersey. It's like gonna go down to 33rd and sit on the stoop and watch the boys choit.
So you must have used to play basketball then, because you just fell right back into your jersey.
I did fall right back, or it could be a football jersey.
It could be a football
or a cricket jersey.
Eclipse it or cricket. I hear crickets.
I hear crickets all the time.
Oh my cow!
So what do you have for the past?
A Quirlot touched him up.
A Quirlot touched him up. Yes.
Mathema chicken. No, I'm crazy. That's not what I have for past.
Wallaby socks.
Wallaby socks. Left shark is for
off
life.
The rails.
Oh, yes. Dun dun dun. Like the steak. Okay. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight, Barry?
People might think we're high because we just go like this, and we're not, though. We might be a little drunk on podcast fluid, but we're not high.
Hi.
Hi.
So last week you mentioned the lime cucumber Gatorade. That is now your favorite Gatorade.
Yes.
And I tried some today, believe it or not.
And?
Very cucumbery.
Yeah. Yeah, but very tasty, I must say.
It'd be great for a hot day. I think it would be a really refreshing beverage.
Hence why I tried it, because it's been a hot... And when I went to the grocery store the first time, that's all they had left because nobody was buying it. So I thought, well, I'll try it.
Okay.
And then I loved it. And I was like, well, okay. So now I've gone back a couple of times and other people have discovered it as well. And so it's missing as well. So it's...
Okay. So maybe that will be disappearing on you.
I know.
Well, if it were on you, you'd probably need a shower then, because it'd be all sticky if it were on you. I know, that's stupid. But I want to
Unless it's the sugar-free.
Yes.
Yeah, sugar-free. You wouldn't get sticky.
You wouldn't get sticky. You just get all wet and cucumbery.
I'd smell like a lime cucumber.
And that would be an interesting and an odd thing to smell like. So as a side note, something I tried the other day that I hadn't had before. There is a drink called Lemon Perfect. Have you heard of this drink?
Lemon Perfect. I have not.
I hadn't
Who's it
either.
from?
It's a hydrating lemon water, a lemon power beverage they call it. So it's
cool.
it's a lemon water thing, but it's got like lots of different flavors. It's got dragonberry, blueberry, acai, mango, strawberry. I've only tried the blueberry acai one, and it's actually pretty good. I like it.
So why is it called lemon water if it's blueberry
well,
acai?
it's still a lemon water, but it's got like a blueberry and other flavor
stuff in it.
accents. They do have like the original lemon water or lemon
water?
perfect is just lemon, but
Oh, okay.
But this is kind of fun.
What does a blueberry accent sound like? You said it has blueberry accents. Is it like a Russian accent or a German accent?
Eclipse it.
I am a blueberry. It's a French blueberry. A blueberry. Ha, ha, ha.
I wonder if we have any more listeners. This is crazy.
I know. After this, we're 10 minutes in, and they're leaving in droves. I wonder if I could watch.
Indeed, in droves. But so this Lemon Perfect is 5 calories and 0 sugar.
Ooh.
And as it says on the bottle, packed with vitamin C, electrolytes from potassium. And here's it. You can, well, our listeners can't see it, but I'll show you barely. This is what it's
Lemon Perfect.
Yeah, and it's a pretty purple bottle. It's actually kind of nice. And you can put, you can add like Splenda or sugar or something to it if you want. But I think alone is pretty good. It's not caffeinated.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Some people don't like caffeine in their drinks.
Some people, and I mean, if you're going, like if it's in the evening and you just want something nice to refresh with, you can have one of these and get electrolytes. And that's just crazy. Anyway, that's my pass today.
That's it, huh?
Dove into current things that are happening.
Current thing.
I don't know.
Well, in that case, let's get to the section that we thought would not last this long. That's just stupid.
There's a lot of stupid things out there, apparently.
Are you stupid or something?
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Okay. A California burglar forgot his keys inside a crime scene. So a Northern California burglar returned to the scene of the crime this last weekend after he forgot his keys inside a donut shop that he stole from. The thief stole some petty cash from a place called Johnny's Donuts inside the San Francisco Bay Area on Saturday night a couple weeks ago. And then so he forgot his keys and he went back. He broke in a second time to find his keys. And this time he just grabbed all the keys that were in the office, including all the bakery vehicles. He didn't steal any vehicles. He just left. He just took all the keys. It's like, and he was on camera twice. So he didn't realize. So the funny thing is, after he broke in the first time, they put his picture out on the news and stuff for breaking in with the camera. So he knew there was a camera there. So he broke in again, knowing there was a camera there, and he got his picture taken again. I mean, that's just stupid.
That fits into this section, I think. Yes.
Yes. So in Great Britain, we're going to go back to a place called Malmesbury, England.
Malmesbury.
A drunk driver crashed into a restaurant, or hotel restaurant, and the hotel chef, Dean Wade, started chasing the driver who crashed into his shop, into his restaurant. And they reached a fence of a wildlife sanctuary. So the drunk driver jumped over the fence and he said, "Don't go in there. Look at that emu. It will do you in." And sure enough, the guy says, "I can fight emus," and scaled the fence containing the 6.5-foot bird and its offspring.
Oh my.
Now, the driver was throwing kung fu kicks drunkenly and punches at the emu, who was just moving out of the way with each jab, and kept just pecking him in the face and in the head and in the eyes and his chest. And Wade recounted, "It must have hurt. He was stabbing his body all over."
Okay, nice. Very nice.
And speaking of emus, emu was in the news in Houston just recently. A flightless bird was stuck using its 2 feet as it darted through traffic during an escape in Houston. It escaped from its little sanctuary. Police said they responded to a traffic hazard when residents spotted an emu, who they initially reported as an ostrich, roaming. Is it emu or emu?
Emu.
Emu?
He sure did.
Like a cow.
He
mooed like a cow. He did. That's right. So it led the police on a slow speed chase until it was eventually captured and returned to its owner. And in other Houston news, a herd of cows.
Wait.
What?
It was an actual slow speed chase like you see on like South Park and everything?
Yes, the cops were with lights and sirens trying to herd the emu.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to clarify that. Okay, I'm good now. Oh my cow, that actually happened.
So, and speaking of cows in Houston, a herd of cows who got out of their grazing area was walking down the streets of a Houston neighborhood, just mooing along. I guess the emu didn't want to be left out of the papers.
I guess not.
I guess not.
Oh, that's adorable somehow.
In Wisconsin, a couple opened a, you ready for this? Museum, spelled M-E-U, as in mew,
oh my cow,
for kitties.
Yeah.
To show off their cat figurine collection. A Wisconsin couple turned their collection of more than 13,000 cat figurines and figurine and feline-themed pieces of art into a museum to raise money for shelter cats, which is nice. Sean Redner and Hillary Siegel Redner said they remodeled the basement of their, I'm gonna mess this word up, Menomonee Falls
there you go.
home, so that they could increase the number of cat figurines on display in the house. Also known as Redner's Rescue Cat Figurine Museum, they went from 4,000 in 2020 to 7,000 in July of this year. So there you go. Quite a lot of weird things in the news, and you want to go to your museum.
Apparently.
And that is news of the stupid.
It is.
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Wow, that's quite exciting. I have, to follow that up, I have a very stupid joke.
Okay, let's hear the stupid joke.
Because we haven't had any stupid.
We haven't had any jokes at all tonight, so you need to have those jokes in there.
Stupid joke. Well, any joke I say is usually stupid. But so two cowboys came upon an Indian lying on his stomach with his ear to the ground. One of the cowboys stops and says to the other, "Do you see that Indian?" And the other cowboy says, "Yes." And the first cowboy says, "Look, he's listening to the ground. He can hear things for miles in any direction." Just then, the Indian looks up. "Covered wagon," he says, "about 2 miles away. Have 2 horses, 1 brown, 1 white. Man, woman, child, furniture in wagon." And the cowboy says, "Incredible! This Indian knows how far away they are, how many horses, what color they are, what's in the way, just from listening to the ground. This is just amazing." And then the Indian looks up and says, "Not amazing. Wagon ran over me 30 minutes ago." And that's that.
Yeah, okay. I have a little almost not safe for work joke, but I'll tell it to you anyway.
Oh.
So this guy was vacationing in Mexico, and he comes across this Mexican taking his siesta next to a tree, and next to the tree is his burro. And he's sitting there, and the guy comes up to him and says, "Pardon me, but do you know what time it is?" And the guy reached over and lifted and put his hands on the donkey's testicles and lifted up and came back down and says, "It's 1 o'clock." And the guy said, "That's amazing. You can tell what time it is by touching the burro's testicles?" He says, No. I lift them up so I can see the clock tower over there."
I'll just I'll move on to say for your cat stupid story reminded me of,
yes,
I have a little deck on my little puppy house where I run around, and there's a little, my honey likes Japanese maples and everything, and we've talked about it on the show.
Yes.
And there on the deck, there's this big pot with a Japanese maple in it, and in the pot there's a little birdie nest, and there's 2 little birdies like 2 little baby birdies in there. They're
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to see because, there's like leaves and everything. But anyway, they're in there. I was looking at them the other day, and apparently mommy doesn't like having this big dog looking at her little baby
No.
birdies or something, because all of a sudden I hear this little chip, 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 chip. And and I look over, and the tree kind of next to me, or well, 5 feet away or something, there's mommy bird, and she was definitely expressing her displeasure with this situation by going chip chip
Mm-hmm.
chipping at me, and she didn't. It was really such a fun and cute situation that was happening, and I had to tell you about that. I wasn't even leading up to a joke. That's something that actually happened.
That actually happened. So the other day and this isn't a joke either, but the other day I'm laying in bed. It's early morning, and where I live in Oregon, it gets hot during the day and it gets cold at night. I mean, it gets cooled down at night. So I open up the windows before I go to bed, and then
To let
it
it
cools
in.
the
Yeah,
house
yeah.
down.
hmm
So then I have a fan going. So it's probably like 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and I hear crows, and they're just going crazy, and it wakes me up because there's
Oh.
so many cawing of all these crows.
Hmm.
I look
That
out the
must have been
window, and there's an
murder.
entire. It was murder. There was an entire murder of crows circling over my neighbor's house. They were dive bombing
Oh,
the house and
wow.
screaming and screeching, and it was just like, what the heck's going on? Well, it turns out there was a cat that must have gotten into one of the crows' nests, and the crows
Oh,
were not happy
they
with
were
this
not
cat,
happy
and it
with it.
was sitting in the backyard, and it didn't care about the crows. It didn't. It was just
It
laying there in the
doesn't
sun,
care.
enjoying itself. And the crows are just, and it's going crazy. And I was just like, wow, for almost most of the day.
Really, they were
And
really expressing their displeasure with that situation.
they were really, and it was just, I'm outside going, just shut up already. Oh my God, just go away.
Oh no.
And then every day for the past week, at least two, this cat lives in the house behind me over here, at least two crows, that must be their job now. They come over and they harass the cat every morning
And the kitty doesn't care.
for like 2 or 3 hours. And the kitty doesn't care. I mean, it sits in the alley, it looks at them like, yeah, it raises its leg and cleans itself, and it's like, yeah, whatever, but it was just,
Oh wow.
again, it must be their job. Two crows, they come and it's like,
someone's got to do it.
they
I
wake
guess.
up in their nest and go, hey, time to go harass the kitty. All right, time to go harass the cat. Yeah. So anyway.
Oh well, that's cute and fun too. Although much noisier than my situation that I had.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just wasn't chipping at me; it was chipping. But at first, and later on, I woke when the neighbor was out. I said, "Did you guys have a summoning last night because you called all the crows in the area?" So it's like, crazy, 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 crazy. All right, shall we do a little this or that? We haven't done this in a little bit.
We haven't. Let's do some this or that.
Would you rather have free pizza for life
Oh.
or free hamburgers for life?
That's, of course, a tough one. I'm going to have to go with the free pizza for life, though. And, it can even have, and when I say this, there are some furs out there that are going to, be very mad at me. And we might get some hate mail for me saying this, but I would actually even be okay if some of that pizza had pineapple on it. There, I said it. I said it.
You said, are they barking pineapples?
Some of them might be, actually.
They might, yeah.
They just might be. I
don't
say
mind
that, though.
a pineapple on a pizza
Oh.
once in a while. Yeah, I know. People don't like it. I mean, people think that you should not put fruit on pizza. Now, there's a place here in Salem, Oregon, that puts kiwi on their pizza along with the pineapple.
Kiwi? That's something I have never experienced before.
I saw that on the menu. I was like, nope.
You
nope,
didn't try
nope,
that? Okay,
nope.
okay.
Did try it. Nope.
You went for the normal person's pizza?
Yeah, I'm a pepperoni pizza guy.
Yeah, yep.
If I have to, or a meat lover pizza from.
Yes, yeah. This pup loves the
something
meat
like that.
lover. Yep, with the pepperoni and Italian sausage, ground beef, or whatever they've got or stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Would you rather only dance to pop music or never dance again?
Oh, well, it's going to be the pop music stuff because, well, you know about me. I like dances. And I do like,
yeah.
I like,
and you dance to pop music anyway. So.
I do 80s and stuff at cons. If they ever actually play 80s music at cons, I love the dancey stuff of 80s. So yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Okay. Would you like to shop only in a store you hate or never shop again?
Well, I kind of need to have stuff, so I guess I'll go for the store I hate. Again, a no-brainer.
Would you rather... This is a strange one. Would you rather sleep on the floor or suspended from the wall?
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a weird one. Sleep on the floor, a very strange one. Or suspended. I think I would take the floor.
From the wall. Yeah. It's like, okay. Sure.
From the wall?
Well, I'm not even going to ask you this one. I'm not even going to ask you this one because it's really not a choice for you. So.
Oh, okay.
It wanted to know: would you rather have dog food or cat food? It's not a choice.
That's not. I mean, there's. Duh. Yeah.
You're a dog. Yeah, you're a pup. Yeah. So it's like so.
Doesn't work.
We're just gonna cross that one out. That was number 126 of the 3001.
Okay, we're making it. We're getting there.
Okay. Now this is a hygiene thing.
Hi, Gene. How you doing? Having a nice day, Mr. Gene?
Hi. He's doing good. Yeah. Would you rather clean your ears with a washcloth or a cotton swab? I'd say they're reaching, but we're not even 200 into this 3,000. So
I'm so scared for when we get into the thousands or something. I guess. How about a washcloth?
Okay.
Because I've got these big floppy earsies, and a washcloth makes more sense, I think.
Absolutely. Well, you know what time it is now.
It is time for me to tell you a little thing.
Oh, a little thing. Let me hear your little thing.
Ding, ding, ding. That's a little thing. No. So Mrs. Smith was making final arrangements. She was going to have this big elaborate reception. And so she said to her helper, Nora, she said, for the first half hour that people are arriving, I would like you to stand at the entranceway door and call the guest names as they arrive. And Nora's face just lit right up. She's like, oh, thank you so much, ma'am. I've been waiting to do that to some of your friends for 20 years. To call them names.
What?
To call them...
Oh.
I thought that was cute. Anyway.
Okay. Well, it's time now for that wonderful section, Furries in the News.
This is starting out grand.
Starting out grand, indeed, yes.
Okay, and I just realized I haven't explained this for quite a while to Furs, so I guess I'll just remind you, or if this is your first time listening to the show, if this is your first time listening to the show and you've made it this far in, there are so many words I could say right now that I'm not going to. I'll just say thank you. But so what I'm going to do now is a thing that started in the beginning in season 1.
In the long ago.
Long ago. For whatever reason, Furries in the News reminded me of Pigs in Space from the Muppets. If you ever saw that. And it goes, Pigs in Space. And so I just started doing a thing, and I just randomly do a thing that is scary and stupid. So I'm going to do that now. I guess introduce this section again since I did all that.
It's time now, once again, for that great section of our podcast known as Furries in the News.
Oh, my furries. Where are the furries? They are in somewhere. Are they in Bosnia? Are they in Argentina? They are sometimes, and in fact, all the time, they are in the... What's going on with me? Sorry.
Wow. Sounded like someone just choked him. I don't know what's going on.
I'm back. I got choked. I passed out. I'm back now. Thank you.
Well, first off, big news for the podcast, for Barely Furcasting, for Barely Normal, and for the Tater. that Tater finished all of the art for the poem and the book Sand in My Fur.
Oh,
Yes.
clappy clap with the
Yes.
puppies.
Yep.
That's exciting.
I'm working on getting it published. It's very exciting. She sent me all the files today. She's very excited to have that. And
Cool.
she said she wanted to get it before she went on her overseas vacation. She's leaving for vacation
Oh,
in a few days
okay, nice.
to
Very
go
nice.
to Poland,
Oh, wow.
where she's going to spend a month with her partner in Poland.
Oh, that's
So
right.
that
That's
should be
very
fun.
exciting. Shout out to
Yeah.
Tater.
So
I'll have to
mhm.
give her a yay Tater on the Telegram
Yay,
and
Tater.
say
Thank you,
hi, yay
Tater.
Tater.
Yes.
I'll write a note.
Yeah.
But that's very exciting. How did they turn out?
Awesome. They're
Yeah,
so awesome. They're so
I
good.
bet
She totally captured
everything.
the essence of the poem. It's so cool. And in fact, there is a character in there that kind of looks like Taebyn, but is not Taebyn because it's different
Oh.
colors, but it has Taebyn colors on the collar.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
Little tip to the hat.
a
Tip of the
little
hat.
tip of the hat to Taebyn
Okay.
in the story. Yes, it's very
Yay.
exciting.
That's very
Yes,
exciting.
I'll send you that picture after
Yeah,
we do
I'm
this so you can
excited.
see that one so you
So
can see
for
it's
all
kind of
you
cool. All right.
furs, you can go back to barely you'll have to
Many
drop
episodes
in.
ago.
Yeah, many episodes ago. Find what episode that is and drop it in so that you first can go back and listen
First can hear
to
the poem.
the poem that Barely wrote called
Mhm.
Sand in My Fur. I think I'm going to say this so that I can feel that I have some part in it. I think I had a slight help with the inspiration a little bit. I want to say that. I don't know if it's true, but it seems like I don't know. Anyway,
You did.
I
You
did.
did.
Okay,
I mean, it
yay.
was a discussion we had. It was a discussion we had. I said something about sand in my fur, and you said that sounds like a poem. And then the next episode, I had written the poem, very
Yes.
Doctor Who-ish, not Doctor Who-ish, Dr. Seuss-ish.
Dr. Seuss.
Um,
Yes.
Seuss-ish. That's hard to say.
It
Seuss-ish.
is.
Seuss-ish. Yes.
Seuss-ish.
And Seuss-ish. Anyway, getting on to more furries in the news.
Hi.
There's a new movie that was released on July 15th called Paws of Fury.
Oh, really? I have not heard of this.
The Legend of Hank. That's the
The Legend
subtitle.
of Hank. That's cute.
Hank, yes. It's a cartoon take, are you ready for this? On the 1971 Mel Brooks movie Blazing Saddles.
Oh, wow, we've talked about that on the show. I
We
have to
have,
check this
right.
out.
It's only in theaters. It didn't get released to video or straight to streaming. So you have to go to the theaters at least for the next couple of weeks before it comes out on streaming.
Okay.
So it's I don't know how it managed that, but it did. It's set in feudal Japan. If you are familiar with the movie Blazing Saddles, the premise of this movie is going to sound very similar. The evil governor wants to take over a town and is populated by kitties.
Oh,
So
nice.
he sends a doofus samurai to protect them from the governor's evil henchmen, hoping to offend their sensibilities and make the town go away.
Oh,
Which is pretty much the plot of Blazing Saddles. He sends the black sheriff, hoping to insult the townspeople so that they leave the town and go like that. So they were concerned when they made this that it was kind of an homage to Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles, that he might not like it and he might sue them. However, he actually asked if he could voice one of the characters when he read the script. And so he's one of the characters.
awesome.
Mel Brooks voices one of the characters. One of the bit characters, kind of a cameo, but he thought it was great.
Awesome. I'll have to
So,
check this out. That's awesome.
There you go. I'll have to check that out. Yep. All right. VR chat security update throws the metaverse into chaos. That's the headline. As we know, there's a lot of things and a lot of furries on VR chat, as we know from
Mhm.
various things that are going on there. Well, VR chat, the popular virtual reality social platform, is testing a security update that would make the game harder to mod, and the community is, well, in a word, they're pissed. The update is part of VR chat's implementation of the Easy Anti-Cheat, or EAC.
Oh.
EAC is a program commonly used in competitive multiplayer games to prevent the use of hacks and cheats. Now,
Oh.
EAC would stop the bulk of VR chat's mods, even though these mods have nothing to do with cheating.
That's true.
And it's
Yep.
almost impossible to cheat in a game like this anyway.
I mean, it's not really
So
a
in case
game,
you're
it's-
angry, no, it's a thing.
a
They
thing.
actually call it a game.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
but
do.
They actually call it. Why they call it a game? I don't know. Who knows? In case you're angry and want to show there's some info from the VR chat modding group on the Teams post, you can go there and and voice your nastiness to them. Whether it does any good, no one's going to know. No one will be able to tell until the end of the time. But if it prevents you from using anti-crash mods, it prevents you from using all other mods until you've come to enjoy. So it prevents you from using safe open source mods that never made anyone's experience worse. So
that would be okay. So that explains why, because I'm in a VR chat Telegram group, and they were I didn't read any of it. I was just noticed someone saying, "So what do you think about this VR thing? And what are we going to do?" And now I know why they were doing that. But okay,
yeah. They're not going to be able to do this stuff anymore. So, but it's just in testing. So I think if enough furs and people get mad about it, they'll just say, "Well,
we tried.
The test
wasn't
failed.
Good.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it."
I mean, it's good to try things as long as it works out well. So they'll try it and it'll fail, and that's great.
Sure. There you go. All right. Have you got any news items before we get to the upcoming events?
I do not, and we forgot to talk about media.
Did we forget media again?
I just
glazed right over that. Wow, I just glazed right over that. Well, we could do media after we do upcoming events. How's that? Since we're in the middle of the news. Okay. All right. Ski Sharp mentioned in the chat that there is a Wisconsin wilderness campout at the Astico County Park in Columbus, Wisconsin. And we will post a link for the registration on that on our website, so you can go register for that if you desire. Also along on that time, you know what? I don't know when that is. It's not in there.
Yeah, I was just noticing.
So click on the registration link. Yeah. Click on the registration link in our web chat, and you will know when you can go to that in Wisconsin. It's coming up, I'm sure. Yeah. Yes. It might have happened already. Who knows? But
if it already happened, it's still coming up because there'll be next year.
That's right. There'll be one next year. Sorry. Anyway. So our weekly plug, of course, for the new convention in Seaside, Oregon. Get out the float, October 27th through the 30th at the Seaside Convention Center, and the registration form will be on the website as well. Still only 12 registrants, so get registered.
I think last week there were 14. Did we lose some?
Oh, was there 14 last week?
I think maybe there was.
Oh, I think there was 14. Yes.
Okay.
So now, because I said there was 10 more than us 4. Yes.
And then
10
plus 4
than us 4
makes up
is 14. Math is hard. Yes.
I implored. This is stupid. I don't know.
10 plus 4 is not a boar. It's a pig.
It's a goat. It's a pig.
It's a goat. The greatest of all time.
Oh my God.
All right. Coming up August 5th through the 7th in Caribe Royal, Orlando, Florida is Megaplex 2020. The next weekend after that in Buenos Aires. Let me speak my enunciations into the microphone. Abasto Hotel Buenos Aires in Buenos Aires, Argentina, is the Argentina Fur Fiesta 2022. That's August 12th through the 14th. Also on the same weekend, August 12th through the 14th, is Wild Prairie FurCon in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So you can go to Canada if you can't get to Argentina. The weekend after that, of course, is Denver.
Woo.
Good old Denver. In the Sheridan Denver downtown, not the downhound, but the downtown hotel in Denver, Colorado. Downtown with the downhound. Then you can get to not East Berlin, but Berlin at the Estral. You could go to East Berlin. There won't be a FurCon there, but you could go.
You could go.
It's Euroferns 2022, August 24th through the 28th in Estral, Berlin. Then that same weekend in Philadelphia is Furrydelphia 2022. Also that same weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana is Indy FurCon 2022.
FurCon!
And those are the upcoming events that are happening around the world for your pleasure. Your furry pleasure. Your furry pleasures.
I am doing this for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I don't know what this is.
I don't know either. Well, Cheetaro, you're here to review a movie. What movie are you reviewing today?
Well, today I am reviewing a movie called, and I know you're going to laugh, Chickenhare and the Hamster of Darkness.
Okay. Chickenhare. Is that a chicken that's a rabbit, or is it chicken with hair on it?
It's a rabbit that has chicken legs and some chicken feathers.
Okay.
And that's
all right.
And that's kind of important in this movie because, well, first off, I want to say that this movie just came out this year.
Okay.
And it's on Netflix for any of those who want to go out and watch it. But the movie is very interesting because, well, it's very Indiana Jones-like. Let's just say that part up front. Because it begins in the jungle with these two brothers searching for, well, the Hamster of Darkness, which is some staff that has mystical powers. And they go through this temple, and there's booby traps and things like that they have to go through. Well, then they grab this idol, and as soon as they grab the idol, the building starts collapsing and caving, and they run outside, and that's when one of them finds this baby that is hence called Chickenhare. It's interesting because the bunny that becomes this Chickenhare's father is an adventurer, and the Chickenhare's whole entire life, all he wants to really do is become an adventurer. So he does everything he possibly can to fall in the steps of his father, and there's this thing called the Royal Adventure Society, and Chickenhare really wants to be a part of that because his father was, and so he tries to become an adventurer and takes this trial, and unfortunately he fails.
Oh no.
The reason he failed was because he was getting teased, and so he decided to, as ironic as this is going to sound, he decided to put on a disguise. So he wore a hat and he put on bunny feet.
Okay.
Hopefully that would make him fit in, right? Well, the unfortunate part was because of this disguise, that's why he kind of didn't continue or didn't get through the trial. Because of that, he couldn't become an adventurer. His father said, you should find something else to do. And he said, well, I really still want to be an adventurer. And so he decides, I'm going to try to find the Hamster of Darkness. So the adventure ensues, and he ends up finding a skunk through here being his guide. And the skunk was basically an interesting character because she was told him the story of you need to be who you are, not try to be something you're not. So when they fell into some quicksand, the skunk was trying to get Chickenhare out of the quicksand, and his bunny feet came off. And then she started realizing, oh, you're different. You have chicken feet. What else is used chicken? And and she finds out. Well, the interesting part is that the adventure continues, and I'm not going to talk about that specifically, but at one part they do actually find the Hamster of Darkness, and something happens where they end up losing it, and then the skunk tells Chickenhare basically that you need to look into yourself and find yourself, because that's what's important. You can't do anything until you become yourself. And so with that, Chickenhare ends up taking a rope and falling down this chasm, and then ends up developing feathers on his ears and his arms, and then flies up to the top, and they get out of the cavern, and so on and so forth. And the end of the story I'm going to keep for the listeners to watch, because it's kind of interesting, specifically since the Hamster of Darkness harnesses 1 million hamsters. They do show that on screen, so it's kind of fun.
Wow.
But for the most part, this was a really adventurous movie. Like I said, it really had a lot of Indiana Jones themes, and there were lots of different jokes about various things. And of course, because his adventure friend is a skunk, there are a couple of skunk moments, let's just say. And so with that, I'm going to say people should watch this because it's kind of exciting, it's fun, there's some sad parts, and there's a lot of funny parts. And if I had to say what I would rate it, I would call this one a 4.5 chirp movie, because it really did kind of keep me on the end of my seat wanting to know what happened.
Well, there you have it, ladies and furs. 4.5 chirps from Cheetaro for Chickenhare and the Hamster of Darkness. Okay, so Taebyn, you watched this movie. What did you think of it?
I thought it was cute. It wasn't like monumental, the best thing ever or something, but it was cute. It was, in the very beginning, like they got the Indiana Jones music and stuff, and they do Indiana Jones things and get the thing and stuff. But then and then you get the opening credits and stuff, and then there's no more Indiana Jones stuff. It's just like I'm not sure why they introduced it that way, but okay. But it's kind of a cute story. I think it's a good thing just to, watch if you just want something fun to watch. And it's nice. It's good animation, of course. And it's, very nice for furries and everything. I guess that's my synopsis. Cheetaro did a much better job than I did, but there it goes. There it goes.
As Taebyn pointed out, we skipped over our media section, so we're going to go back. We're going to rewind back to media and talk about what we've been doing. All right, so I watched The Bad Guys.
Oh, nice, with
finally.
Mr. Wolfie?
Mr. Wolfie, yep.
Nice.
Yep. So I have to say, it was a cute movie. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was one of those things. I went down to the kitchen to make lunch, and I thought, I could go sit at my desk and work and eat lunch, but I think I'm going to watch a movie. So I turned on The Bad Guys and watched that while I ate my lunch. It was kind of fun. Yeah. I liked it.
Okay, that's good to know. So is it on Netflix or something?
It's on Netflix. It's a little over an hour. So if you want to watch it during lunch, you'd have like 2 lunches. Yeah.
That's how I watched.
I just worked a little later in the afternoon after I watched it.
Okay.
So
I will have to check it out.
I have that luxury.
Good. But so it was good. You liked it? Do you recommend it?
I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a really good movie. Yeah,
nice.
The art
I'll
was good. The
that out.
plot was good.
And there's a Wolfie.
So there's a Wolfie. He's a cute Wolfie. He's
like
sexy.
the Wolfie.
Yeah.
I like Wolfie.
So I thought the piranha was the cutest character. That's just
the piranha. Oh, cute. Okay, I'll check it out.
That was cute. Yeah. I've also been watching a series on the History Channel called "The Food That Built America." I may have talked about this show before. It's very good, and it talks about all the beginnings of various different things that we take for granted now in the food world, like chewing gum and candy and donuts and pizza and all those things, which really were not, or breakfast. Breakfast was not a thing in the early 1900s. It was not a thing. There was not breakfast foods. So it was interesting to watch this series about different things, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Who knew? And we take them all for granted today. So Hershey's chocolate, it had to start sometime.
It's really great when we take it for granted because Granted really needs all the help he can get.
Yes, we take it for him. Yeah. Cary Grant it. But 2 of my favorite episodes so far dealt with Coke versus Pepsi.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Which I did not realize this. Pepsi, the guy that came up with Pepsi, really got bought out and got drummed out of the Pepsi business. He went on to invent other things, but he did not reap the rewards of Pepsi at all.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. It was
dun,
kind
dun,
of,
dun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dun, 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 indeed.
Oh, those socks.
Same thing with popsicles.
Oh, really?
Same thing with popsicles.
The guy that invented them didn't reap anything from them.
Didn't reap any of the benefits because he sold out to a bigger conglomerate. And then he was, doing that stuff. And then the Good Humor people patented frozen treats on a stick. And they made sure that anything that was a frozen treat on a stick was a violation of their patent. And they bought up all those companies. So everything that you see for the most part today, you'll see it's in little things says a Good Humor company, like Dove bars and all that stuff say Good Humor company. And the other one that I found really, really interesting was the Pizza Hut and Domino's story. How those two started. Yeah. So it's really an interesting series. If anybody is interested in those kind of things, take a listen to it. It's called The Food That Built America.
Are they like 30-minute episodes or?
They're about an hour.
Oh, okay.
They're about an hour. So yeah. And it's on the History Channel.
Nice.
Or on the Discovery app. The History Channel is part of the Discovery app on your TVs if you have the Discovery app. I also finished The Boys on Amazon. We have talked about this before. Very violent, very, very violent. Yeah. And the main character is definitely a stand-in for our 45th president, DT. And in fact, the last episode, remember when DT talked about how he could shoot a man on a busy street in New York City and people would cheer? And
yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
So one of the closing scenes in the last show, the main character lasered a guy right in front of thousands of people because he threw a can at him, and they all started cheering because he just. And I thought, wow, that was totally a throwback to that line.
Shout out to DT.
Yeah. Yep. And then we watched the first 2 episodes of season 3 of Lost in Space on Netflix.
Oh.
Awesome show, I have to say. It's so good. There is really no other way to describe how great this show is.
So, do you like the show?
It's all right.
It's okay. It's worth checking out if you got a few seconds.
It's worth it. I mean, if you got time, go check it out.
Okay.
And that's what I've been watching on the boob tube. How about you?
Well, we've continued, we're already watching 24. Again, the only way I can describe that is like you just described Lost in Space. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Best Jack Bauer's Jack Bauer. Anyway, and so we're in season 2 now. We're continuing the Real O'Neills. I talked about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
We're in season 2, and I mean, we've only seen about 4 episodes of season 2, and there's no season 3, and this is back in 2016, so I imagine they're done after 2 seasons. Is that right?
Yeah, it didn't last more than 2 seasons.
That's so unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the last few episodes, but it's like I don't want to stop after 2 seasons.
Well, that's because the guy that plays the gay guy,
Kenny,
who's gay in real life, Kenny, kind of went off the deep end about some things. And so
drama.
They fired him and didn't pick up the rest of the series. He basically killed. Yeah.
Okay.
I killed the series.
No, this. I'll make a note when we're done watching season 2. I'll look into this and find out because now I want to know. I don't want to know beforehand because I want that to be like it wouldn't be a spoiler or anything, but I think it would be a continuation of the story of the saga. If I listen to it, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, but I'll research that out and find out. And I watched another episode of Samurai Rabbit, the Usagi Chronicles. Of course, talked about this last week.
Yes.
And I mean, I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes. It's still good. I like it. Kind of some updates on it. So, my honey knows a lot about Japanese culture and Japanese things and stuff. And he says, you might remember last week I was talking about how Bunny, Yuichi is his name, the Samurai Rabbit, he's arrogant and irresponsible. And so my honey said that he thinks that that's a trait of samurai is to be arrogant and irresponsible. So they got it right there. That's good. And also, it's really cute. So in the episode I watched recently, the city guards, they're guards, so they have like helmets or something. That's what city guards have. But the city guards, their helmets are pup hood. I can't even say it. Pup hoods. So it's like whoever created this show actually, like, they know about furry and stuff because it's just really cute. They are obvious, like, pup hoods. It's really cute. Anyway, but that's my media for the week.
All right. So, Taebyn, you have not had math for a while.
Yeah.
It's ruined. Don't ruin it. It's ruined.
Have a listen. Don't ruin it.
Don't have a listen. Don't ruin it. Use some Cool Whip. Anyway, you have some math, I believe.
I actually do this time.
Listening audience.
For our listening audience. Listering.
Yes.
We have a listening audience. So it's all very fresh, our audiences. So,
do you know that Listerine was created as a floor cleaner?
I think I heard that somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a disinfectant and as a cleaner. And then somebody says, hey, I bet I could wash my mouth out with it. I'm like, okay.
I wonder if this person's initials were DT.
Yeah.
Because, like, just have shots of some Lysol and everything will be fine.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
yeah, so I have a little bit of math. It's kind of a math history type thing. I don't know, but it's kind of interesting.
Okay.
So, of course, you've heard of Archimedes. He's
Yes.
back in 287 to 212 BC. And one of the works he did was called the Sand Reckoner. And so I want to talk a little bit about what this was. And so he asked how many grains of sand would fill the universe. He asked this, and he wanted to find out. And at that time, it was thought that the universe was finite, a finite radius. It's like they thought like the stars were the boundary of the universe or something. So, so based on this, he made some.
Yes, they did.
They did. So you know this. So based on this, he made some estimations of how big the universe was, and of how small, like the measurement of a grain of sand. And so, he could calculate this stuff. Now, so he did all this and figured it out and everything, but he didn't have, at that time, they didn't have, the words we have for numbers like million and trillion and stuff. Back in those days, the largest number word, and this was the Greeks, the largest number word they had was the myriad, which was 10,000, actually. That was their word for 10,000. They did also have a myriad, which was 10,000 times 10,000, which is 10 to the 8th power, which is 100 million. So they had that. Okay. But of course, grains of sand, he's got to come up with other ways to talk about how many grains of sand, because that's going to be a lot. So in order to do this, we go up by powers of 10. We go 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, so on and so forth. Okay. So he went up by, since a myriad was 10 to the 8th power, 100 million, he went up by that, 10 to the 8th power. Then the next would be the next level of 10 to the 8th power and stuff. Numbers up to 10 to the 8th power were called of the first order. Then the next set, so numbers from 10 to the 8th power to 10 to the 16th power were of the second order, and so on and so forth, all the way up to a myriads order and up to a myriads. That's hard to say. Like we were trying to say, what was it we were trying to say before that was really hard?
I don't remember, but it's on the recording.
It's on the recording. So there's that word that was really hard to say. And this is a hard word to say too. A myriads. So a myriads order.
Okay. Yes.
And so those are numbers. I'm spitting all over. Those are numbers.
Gotta clean the microphone now.
We need a new mic now.
Yeah.
I don't want a new mic. So those were numbers that started with 10 to the 8th to the 10 to the 8th power, which is a number that has 800 million digits. So now he could actually talk about this, but in the end, he concluded that the number of grains of sand required would be 10 million units of the 8th order, which is 10 to the 63rd power, which is a 1 with 63 zeros after it. And
holy mackerel.
It's a lot. And that's actually what started our kind of word and powers and numbering system and everything. And as a side note, I found this out just today when I was researching about this. 10 to the 63rd power, we have million, trillion, quadrillion, and all these words for all those things. 10 to the 63rd power, the word for it is vigintillion. I did not know that.
Vigintillion.
With an N. Yeah, exactly. Vigintillion. And you might know, by the way, a 1 with 100 zeros after it. Do you know the word for that?
No.
It's a Google.
I don't. Oh, a Google. Yeah. Okay.
And a 1 with a Google zeros after it is called a Googleplex.
Ah. Yeah. I thought the Googleplex was where the Google offices were. Crickets.
Google.
Just crickets.
Plex is
the Googleplex. Where the
Google
offices are.
I got it. I
like
got
a megaplex or a
Yes.
Like, okay.
I still think the crickets exist, but I got it.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my math for the week.
Okay. Well, and you mentioned Archimedes. Now, you know, Archimedes was a character name on a certain Disney movie. Did you know that?
This sounds like a thing that I know, but I don't remember. Question.
You should probably know. So in the movie Sword in the Stone, animated Sword in the Stone, Merlin
had
an owl
Yes, and
named
the owl.
Archimedes. Yes.
I knew it sounded familiar, and I love that movie. And and the boy in throwing the stone, and then when he turns into the squirrel, that is the best.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Very cute. Anyway, yes.
Very, very cute.
I should watch that again.
And what was that other number? A pigeon flex? No, not a pigeon flex.
Google,
a virgin
Google
flex. Not a virgin flex. No. The other word. The pigeon word.
Vigintillion. It's
Vigintillion.
Yeah, VIGIN.
Is that like a vegetarian?
It's a vegetarian that has a lot of nothing because they have so many zeros. Yeah.
Zeros. Or a pigeon with no zero. With lots of zeros. A pigeon-tarian.
No, so that's V. For any of you first taking notes on this, that's VIGINTILLION. Vigintillion.
Yeah. Eventually, we'll have a BFFT trivia panel where we ask trivia questions about our podcast to audience members.
I like this, and we can have other furs on the show. We should make a shout or ask furs who wants to be on the show and come in and do a little BFFT trivia. That would be cool.
BFFT trivia. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I think, Taebyn, that we have taken up enough of our listeners' time. And
I see what you did there.
Now I'm going to have to say that. I got to say that, yes, all the time. I think we should wrap this up. It's a short episode, but that's okay. Short episodes are okay sometimes. We don't have to fill 3 hours of people's time anymore. I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in. Thank you for being a wonderful co-host. Thanks to Cheetaro for that wonderful review. Wonderful. I've used the word wonderful twice now, 3 times, 4 times. Review of Chickenhare and the Hamster of Darkness. I'm going to have to watch that movie.
And those are all H's that are actually to be pronounced.
Yes, Chickenhare, Hamster of Darkness.
I'd be actually really interested to hear what you think about it. As I say, it is a cute little show. I definitely think it's worth a watch. So I'll be
well, there you go.
I don't know if it's a Rolex that it's worth, but it's worth a watch of some.
Is it worth an Apple Watch? Maybe
it's a Timex.
A Timex. Oh, a Timex. So $29.95. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, all right. Remember to get your BFFT merch at Bonfire or Redbubble, and be sure to join the BFFT chat on Telegram. Oh. And if you're interested in puppy play and all things sexually kinky, be sure to listen to my other podcast, which is called Off Leash, a definitely not safe for work podcast, which I co-host with Pup Canes and Pope Loki, which we talked about earlier. When he doesn't like the word overwhelmed. And so until next time.
So how is that? Do you have like lots of listeners? How's that going and stuff?
It's going pretty well. The episodes drop every 2 weeks instead of every week like ours. It's every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And we've got 14 episodes out there, and the listenership is just up over, we've had over 1,000 downloads already.
Nice.
Just for those 14 episodes.
Very nice.
7 episodes, excuse me. So yeah. And we just got listed on Pandora. It took 14 weeks, but we finally got listed on Pandora.
I think that's what it took.
Why it took Pandora so long? Yeah.
I mean, that was
so
this
long to get on
pod too,
Pandora.
right? It took so long but finally got there.
I don't know. Pandora's, we finally got there. So
until
next time. It
takes a long time to get out that box.
I guess. Yes. There's a lot of, it's an entirely alternate universe inside Pandora's box.
It totally is.
We've talked about Pandora's box on the past.
I think we have.
Do you remember what's in Pandora's box?
Like snakes and things, right? I think.
No. The Greek, or whatever the history is, it is hope. Hope is in what's in Pandora's box.
Oh.
There you go.
And also,
CE, you earned
a kitty.
Yes, which we don't know is alive or dead until you open the box.
Well, all we can do is hope.
We can just hope. That's like the Hope Pregnancy Clinic here in Salem. You kind of hope you're not pregnant. So,
aptly
pregnancy.
named.
Okay. All right. I say Moobarkfluff, stay furry. Taebyn, end this thing. Please end this thing.
Please end. So thank you, all you furs that have been listening, especially if you've been listening since the beginning. You're so amazing. And even if you're just tuning in now, thank you. You're still so amazing. It means so much to us. We're here to entertain and educate and be crazy stupid. And I know we are crazy stupid. So thank you for being involved with that, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, so until next week, I say Moobarkfluff, stay furry, and have a good one. Bark, bark.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guests, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate editor Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezerbeak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music by Shane Ivers through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on soundcloud.com, and the YouTube Free is library. Social media presences is maintained by Ziggy the Mean Weasel. Transformation Station is written and directed by Lux Operon with Rain Raccoon and is edited by Rain Raccoon. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFTchat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at ko-fi.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.